Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Tuesday, the 2nd of February, comes to you from London. And more green on the screen today, so suggests that markets are looking reasonably perky. We see the dollar continuing to rise here. Remembering this is my long term, my medium term, and my short term view of the market. I'm running on Refinitiv Icon. If you're a private user, Metastock Zenith is much the same system. And of course, you can have any list you like, so you can go through this same process with the 6 chart. So it gives a very quick overview of what's going on in the market. So we're seeing that the dollar has actually been undergoing a bit of recovery this year, but still the long-term chart is still bearish. Taking a look at the euro, we're sitting at 120.74, so that is looking weaker against that dollar, and just starting to roll over a little bit there. So we saw the move, the consolidation, and the move, but we're just running out of steam on that medium term. We still do have a big upside target here for the euro against the dollar, but we're on the verge of activating a downside target some 4% lower. It's marrying that short-term and long-term view of the market that's quite key. Sterling is sitting at 137 against the dollar this morning, so we're very much in this sideways range at the moment. And if we look at sterling against the euro, we are looking stronger here at 113.45. So we've really broken out here. And we're starting to break that long-term cloud. So a real re-rating going on. 116.86 is the level that we're seeing, and we're going to target to 120, and a big upside target if we can break this downtrend to 132. These are much longer-term targets, of course. The Bitcoin chart is sitting at $35,000, so we're seeing a little bit of recovery here, looking quite good for a recovery there. But at the moment, we'd have to get to new highs to deactivate these downside targets into the 20,000 area, 24,000. The US stock market was strong last night. We saw the S&P up 1.6%. That's a big recovery, but of course not enough to change the fact that we have closed through this chart. And this is the first time in several weeks that we're below on the 60-minute chart. We saw the move to the low, then a lower high, a lower low. Classic Dow theory. Yesterday's move takes us to a lower high again, so that's quite key. We need to get back really above this 38.50 level, or 38.30 certainly, to be back into that bull territory, and of course ideally a new high. We're starting to see the signs of volatility at the end of the trend. The Nasdaq, similar picture there. We are just finding now cloud resistance. The Dow was up quite strongly yesterday. It's a better looking chart because of the defensive nature of the stocks in the Dow, so we are seeing the Dow breaking higher, and that's really quite key, holding on to those highs. The futures this morning, the S&P future is up just under 1%, and the Nasdaq E-mini is similarly up. So that does suggest that we will see the market open higher this morning, and that means that the VIX volatility is down some 8%, back into the high 20s. So we've had this scare, if you like, over the last few days where the VIX got into the high 30s. We are pulling back, so we're seeing markets taking more in their stride. But of course, if we make new highs, that's bad news for the VIX. But we are seeing now a falling VIX, so that's reassuring for the market that the fear index is falling off. The FTSE future is down 0.6%, and the CAC Quarant, the DAX, in Germany, the cash market is up 1.35%, and the CAC Quarant is up 1.75%. So a stronger performance there. Still have work to do to get back into bullish territory, of course. The Japanese market was up 0.85% overnight, not enough to turn this market bullish, and the Hang Seng was up 1%, so that's looking stronger, 1.2%, but it's still not enough to move the market bullish. And if we look at the Shanghai Composite, we are up 0.8%, again, still below the cloud. The big market, the market that's been really moving this week is the Sensex in India, up 4% yesterday, up a further 2.6%, and pushing to new highs. So the Sensex looking very strong indeed, a very strong week there, and we're back into bullish territory here. So India bucking the trend, big upside potential for the Indian market, so that's one to watch. The Aussie market was also up 1.5%, so that's looking strong as well. Gold is down this morning Had a reasonably strong day yesterday, holding on to that short-term bull trend. We've got targets in either direction. The daily chart sitting very much at this 1850 level now for a good several weeks. So that's where we are with gold. And that's quite key. Looking at silver, of course, silver had a massive day yesterday. It was up over 10% at one stage, but pulling right the way back. We're back to where we opened yesterday, really. We jumped up, gapped up yesterday morning. We're back filling the gap. So this level might be resistance becoming support. That's something to watch, certainly, for silver. So we've jumped out, coming back. The long-term target for silver is still very good. We've got 34.55 as the target, but we just are devoid of some medium-term and short-term targets. We still have downside potential here of 4% lower on the short-term chart. The fact is, silver is a very bullish proposition over the longer term. Copper sitting at $3.50 a ton, so we're seeing here this is really still pushing much higher. And the big moves in US 10-year yields, we're sitting at 1.110 now. So we've really, having nudged parity, we're coming right the way back here on the level, and that's quite key. We have this uptrend in bond yields, and so that will be key to watch into 2021. Looking at the energy mix now, we've got Brent crude up 1% this morning. That's breaking the range, so that's looking bullish. We've got a target to $60.20, so that will be really key. Not really fully breaking those January highs yet, so we need to just keep an eye that we might hit some resistance here. And the seasonality is not great for crude right now. And if we look at WTI, we see here that same breakout going on as well, so looking stronger. US nat gas up 3% at 294, so we've seen a massive move in gas prices, so that's looking strong, and just waiting for that to activate a target. But US nat gas, in the scheme of the longer term chart, still not really bullish, but short term there's no denying. Of course, it's a very hard read, the gas chart. Coal is down 1% this morning to $65, so it's just sinking lower. We've had the contract rollover for coal last month, so it's really now into a new annual contract. Emissions up 1% at 33 euros. Really a breakout pattern going on here. Triangle move, and we're just really waiting to see which way we break. So this is going to be quite critical for emissions, and we see that range narrowing in on the 60-minute chart. Targets in both directions. So watch the 1-minute charts for clues there. MBP's up 1.25% this morning. So not enough to take this chart bullish on the short term, and TTF front month is up 0.7%. And that's looking a little bit better on the chart there. So we are seeing still sluggish movement here. 17 to 21 is the range. That's what we've got to watch for a break. And if we look at German power, we're up 0.7%, very similar to the emissions chart, of course. We're seeing this triangle range building. And last of all, we'll take a quick look at the Nordic power chart, having just started to break out, falling back a little bit there. So that's quite key as well. So just coming under pressure. 24 is the level that we need to hold there, so keep an eye on that. That's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.